I'd now like to hand over to Nish. Nish Naidoo from Macquarie University, is a member of the Interoperability Working Group, and he's going to present the interoperability and the linked open data reports.
Excellent. Good morning, everyone. Yep, it's the morning. Thank you, Sue. So I'm on the Special Interest Working Group for Interoperability. And basically, as you can see, everything I'm about to talk about is pretty much on the website. So if you want to have a look at the website, it gives you a bit more detail about what I'm going to tell you briefly. So we're basically promoting the ability of ex libris systems to interoperate with each other and with third-party systems, whether these are from vendors or built by customers. So interoperability, obviously, has these key goals, basically. So we'd like to enhance the awareness in the community, especially by encouraging and supporting ex libris to consume their own APIs, which we think is pretty critical because that makes APIs a first-class citizen. And if they use their own APIs, they make them and create them well, and we benefit. We also want to establish an open platform using open standards, including open data standards as an integral design principle. And we've actually just released a position paper on the principles behind what we think that means. Also, we'd like to encourage ex libris to enhance and keep up-to-date technical documentation, which I think to a reasonable degree they actually do, especially relative to some other vendors you might come across. So they do a reasonably good job in that regard. And we also like to collaborate with all relevant ex libris and non-ex libris user groups, projects, and products. So the interoperability working group, we actually work very closely with the linked open data and the analytics special interoperability working groups as well. We hold a lot of joint events. We have joint show and tells, and we actually have a combined meeting every 3 months. So the interoperability working group meets every month, but every 3 months we have one with all three groups together. So it's a big online talk fest. And we also like to encourage clarity, consistency, and continuity in API and interoperability development practices between various ex libris products in the form of an API roadmap, which I think we've put out previously and are working with ex libris to kind of develop ongoing. So these are the members of the working group. There's Mehmet Çelik, he's the chair, and Lucas Costa is the deputy coordinator. He is also on the linked open data working group. We had 2 positions open this year, and we've managed to fill those with Matthias and Alexander. And we had 1 replacement, so 1 person left and another person joined a seat as well. So some of the activities we've had this year, we've created a new communication channel. So there's a bit of a discussion about which way we were going to go, and I think eventually we have settled on Slack. I think most people might have at least heard about Slack. Slack it's a great communication tool, and a lot of development people typically are on that anyway. So it was really good for the Illuna group to actually get a Slack channel going. And on that channel, on that communication platform, there's a lot of channels. And you've got developer channels, you've got the channels for each of the working groups. There's a Primo development channel for the new UI where they host hackathons and things like that. So I encourage you to join and have a look and participate if you want. All the information for joining the channels is actually on the website. Other things we've done, we've actually helped put together the Illuna and Igloo Developer Days. And that's a joint effort between the linked open data, analytics, and the interoperability working groups. We developed an issues paper around APIs. And as I just mentioned previously, we've developed a position paper on open standards relating to the second key goal, which is establish open platform using open standards. We've also had a variety of show and tells. These are really great because it lets people share their experiences with us and gives us insights into some of the things that we can do with some of the products like Primo and Alma, particularly. We've even had ex libris come and provide some show and tells for us, showcasing some new developments and also some of their roadmaps that they are putting together as well. So Josh Wiseman has actually given 2 over the last year, and one of them just recently. And we've had a couple of others. And we also encourage anybody who wants to do show and tells to showcase some of the work they've done. They don't necessarily have to be technical, because some of these aren't. But just show us like how you guys are interoperating with other products, or interesting ways you might be using some of these products. So we encourage, if anybody wants to do a show and tell, just give us a heads up and we will organize a time slot for you and schedule it in and assist you in going through the process. And that's it. Actually, I'm going to do the linked open data one, and then we'll do questions after that. So Yui is the one who actually put this together, and he was supposed to be delivering today, but I'm going to be doing it for him instead. As I said before, the linked open data special interest working group and the interoperability and the analytics, we actually do work quite close together, and a lot of the events are joint events, including hosting things like the developer days. So the objective for the linked open data group is to achieve essentially linked open data features in all the Ex Libris products. That's pretty much what the objective is. And we want to focus on data publishing, consumption, and integration. So these are the members of the linked open data special interest working group. And as you can see, Lucas Costa is the guy that kind of straddles both these groups. So he helps organize or arrange a lot of the joint efforts of both these groups. So some of the activities that happened over the last year, they contributed to the roadmap features, integrating linked open data into Alma and Primo. They've done community surveys, linked open data collaboration as advisory roles, and working with the other 2 groups as well. They've also held show and tell events, and as I said, these show and tell events are joint events. So the list that I had on the show and tells on the previous section also is the same one here. And also they've done presentations and working group meetings at Illuna and Igloo. And that's it. Any other questions?